For today's Cyber CEO episode,
𝗙𝗹𝗹 is a very detail-oriented individual. She takes constructive criticism very, very well. Yeah, she's just been a phenomenal partner. She tracks timeframes for appraisal contingencies, financing, any contingency that's in there. She makes sure they're on the calendar. She communicates with the closing attorneys to make sure that that's happening. All of the timelines and the contract details, works with the lenders, making sure they have everything. Work in our database, whether that means tagging, reordering. She sends out our email campaigns through 𝗙𝗙𝗋𝗋. She also does our daily posting on social media. She does some graphic design for us underneath the guidance of her and my wife, Erin. Sometimes 100 to 120 deals go through her hand, and she's handled that workload like a boss. And so the impact has been, for me, is the ability to take my eyes off of some of those details that we've gotten down that 𝗙𝗹𝗹 really has her handled on, so that I can work on the next thing to help us grow more and create more opportunity. It just really was night and day difference to the experience that we had had before. So that's really kind of a testament to what a cyberbacker really can do.
welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Another great day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO. And of course, we have another very special guest on the show. Jason, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you very much for asking and for being here. I know you have a lot of things to do. We really appreciate your time. Now, what we wanted to do was just to, of course, get to know more about you and check up on you and your Cyberbacker. But before we do that, though, how long have you been with Cyberbacker, Jason?
Oh man, I want to say we're probably coming up on our 5-year mark here. I think we started in 2019. Yeah, so it's been a bit.
Wow, that's a solid partnership right there, all throughout the years. Now, with the same Cyberbacker?
I think we had one cyberbacker, and then we ended up switching to another one. But 𝗙𝗹𝗹 has been with us for about 4 years right now, and so she's part of the family at this point. I mean, she's been with us, we partnered with her before she was married, and so
Wow.
they feel like family.
Gosh, already create an addition to your family, and of course a great partnership at that. Now, let's try and go back though. Let's say 4 or
Sure.
5 years ago, before you even got to work with Cyberbacker. What were your first thoughts about virtual leverage back then?
Well, I had some preconceived notions because I had some experiences with other companies. And so we had some, overseas help, and it didn't go very well. And that kind of left a negative taste in my mouth. But then I ran across Cyberbacker, and it was like, okay, they do this and they do it a lot for real estate. And so they have more specific training. And it seemed a lot better. When I talked to other people that had cyberbackers, I got positive reviews. And so when we decided to give it a shot and partner with it, with your company and with the partners that you had available for us to interview, it just really was night and day difference to the experience that we had before.
Yeah, just great to hear that it was a really different experience now with Cyberbacker and during the beginning. So, how did you find out about Cyberbacker? Anyway, was it on social media, word of mouth?
Through Keller Williams, in talking with people, having assistants working overseas, the predominant name is Cyberbacker in our world. And so I was not only able to get a referral to your company, but I was also able to talk to people who work with cyberbackers and get their input, which made it easier for us to embark on that journey.
Okay, then now look at that conversations that you made before, now going on 5 years with your Cyberbacker. Now, going back to the first time you reached out or spoke with Cyberbacker about virtual leverage, what were the things that you needed help with back then?
Yeah. So when we were going back, it was mostly administrative help. So it's going to be kind of your EA, type of position, and then that grew into contracts and compliance. So when we because we're a high volume team, and so as we start putting a lot of contracts under, we need systems and models in place to be able to move stuff quickly, and that's what it gravitated to. So over the evolution, there was more marketing stuff that our cyberbackers done, and then they kind of went into the contract submission compliance part of it. And as far as our office is concerned, when our files are turned in, they're among the cleanest with the stuff that's done correctly and succinct. And so that's really kind of a testament to what a cyberbacker really can do.
Already tremendous success and tremendous growth right there in this partnership. Now, being it that you've been with Cyberbacker for 5 years now, you've found the perfect Cyberbacker for your needs, your business, the partnership that you've created with 𝗙𝗹. How did any tips that you can share on partnering? Because of course, before you even get to work with a Cyberbacker, you have to go through interviews, have to ask the right questions, things like that. So, what tips can you give out to our audience when it comes to partnering with their Cyberbacker?
Yeah. So if you have, I'm going to give it two different answers. One, if you're looking during the interview process, you need to be clear on what it is you want to have the cyberbacker do. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, if you have the general, what's clear, like I need them to do this EA role, you need to be able to work alongside them, because it's going to take a minute for them to get up to speed of what's in your head to be able to do that. So don't just go, hey, do this, and then leave them on their own, but work with them. Once you have the cyberbacker and you want to partner with them long term, or you feel like you have somebody in the right seat that's going to go in there, then you want to think about this like you would any other team member. And what I mean by that is, when we succeed together, we consider 𝗙𝗹 a partner, and so as part of her package, like it is with other people, we pay bonuses. We give paid holidays. And then over the course of time, we've even given raises to, that partnership, like we would anybody else who works in-house as a staff member. If for them to continue to be interested, there's, you got to create a partnership on that, which included, making sure she had time off for their honeymoon when they got married, and for, the things that you want time off for on your end. We had to you want to make sure that their lifestyle is able to be positively impacted as well.
I love what you talked about earlier when you said that just treat them like they're in the office. They're not virtual. Yeah. They're basically like they're right there next to you, right? Someone who's a team member, a part of the family is what you mentioned. I think that's one of the key factors into turning a partnership into a successful partnership, right?
Correct. That really is it, because we're all people, right? And we all have families, and we're doing this to be able to supply for our families. And, my understanding is those that work in the cyberbacker world, in some of the countries they work in, are considered, high level executives, because of how the money translates differently, and it's able to have a powerful impact on their world. And so you really, when you're in this, that you're doing something good for somebody at the same time as you're getting a serious benefit on your side of the fence, to be able to leverage and keep your costs down for your consumer, at the same time as being able to build team members stateside as well as overseas to make a bigger picture, to have a positive impact.
100% agree with you there. A mutual partnership. Cyberbackers get what they want. Our cyber CEOs get what they want. A great partnership at that. Now, I want to know more about 𝗙𝗹. I'm just transitioning here real quick. 𝗙𝗹, talk to me more about her. What's it like working with her every day? What type of a person is she?
𝗙𝗹 is a very detail-oriented individual. She takes constructive criticism very, very well. She is patient and tolerant to the fact that CEOs move at a fast pace, and we say, hey, do something, and we don't provide enough clear attention. So she comes back with the questions that she needs answered, which is completely fair on her point, because we're known as, hey, do this. And then it's like, well, I got more questions about that. And so she's done very well at being able to work with them. She's held her seat longer than we've held the EAs in our office's seat. And so she's actually partnered with 3 different ones that we've gone through in our own office that has the role of kind of overseeing. So she's been very adaptable to those individuals that have sat in the role as her counterpart here. At the same time, yeah, she's I would call her a little bit shy, and she likes music, and she drums at church, and we're musicians. You can see we're in my studio, which we dub the War Room, and you can see my guitars behind me and everything. So there's commonalities, right? Between people, and you find that in everyday business, but you can truly find that in your Cyberbacker partner as well. So we've even shipped we have our Ursuline Associates mugs, and we sent one overseas to her, so she has one too. She's just been a phenomenal partner. I think she's been married for over a year now to her husband, and I think he's a Cyberbacker as well. So it's kind of a family affair. We don't work with him specifically, but I have been able to meet him, at least on camera.
Wow, just the way you talk about 𝗙𝗹 just seems like we really know each other. And obviously, I'm sure if once we have her on the show too, when we ask her about you, I'm 100% sure she's going to be able to tell us more about you as well, because of the great partnership that you've created. Now, more about 𝗙𝗹 though. How about tasks? What are the specific tasks that you ask her to do, let's say on a daily basis? What does a normal Monday look like?
So a normal day for 𝗙𝗹 is going to be anything that's under contract, moving it forward. So she tracks time frames for appraisal contingencies, financing, any contingency that's in there. She makes sure they're on the calendar, so that they're communicated. She communicates with the closing attorneys to make sure that that's happening correctly. She sends out to our cooperating partners, the other agents, all of the timelines and the contract details, works with the lenders, making sure they have everything. So that's the deals part of it. As another basic thing that she does for us is she'll do any of our work in our database, whether that means tagging, reordering. She sends out our mailers, our email campaigns through MailChimp, and she also does our daily posting on social media. So we've created a plan around that where she'll create the content. She does some graphic design for us underneath the guidance of her and my wife, Erin. She interacts with Erin a lot on the daily basis to make sure that the operations part of our organization is always moving forward.
Gosh, basically, 𝗙𝗹 is just like a jack of all trades and does almost everything, can do anything you throw at her. Now, a very successful partnership at this. I want to know though, have there been any challenges that you've encountered working with someone virtual so far in the past 5 years with Cyberbacker?
Yeah, so we've had at one point we had multiple Cyberbackers. One of them was for video editing, and the challenges that we had really are just communication barriers. When I give instructions on something, there's a nuance to what it is that we're looking for, and I've had partners, not 𝗙𝗹, but take it overly literal, and it wasn't the products we were looking for, and it was more time consuming than I really wanted it to be, and we ended up doing something different in the video editing area. But it also taught me how to communicate with 𝗙𝗹 on a better basis, because we have different cultures and different communication. And so when I say, hey, I want this all to be in blue ink, then everything is literally in blue ink, and there's no, hey, I had this idea, what do you think of this? And so I have to ask for her input and be like, hey, I'd like you to do this, and I'd like to know your thoughts on what you think about this and like better. And then it opens up a different type of conversation. So the challenges have been mostly operator error on my part in terms of being able to understand different cultures and be able to provide a patient and open platform for them to ask questions and present those things. So those have been really the only challenges. In terms of 𝗙𝗹 working for us, she's been flexible. I really don't have challenges with 𝗙𝗹 in general. But overseas, when I was working with that other company, we had challenges with power outages more frequently. And although 𝗙𝗹 has run into that from time to time, where we can't communicate via video because she's on her backup system, she's always been able to work, right? And so my Cyberbackers have never really missed anything unless they were sick or they had a requested holiday, which was part of our deal. And so we even provide paid vacation time for her just because, after this long, it's just the right thing to do.
True. Absolutely true. Cyberbacker 𝗙𝗹 never missed a beat then so far. Now, one last question while I still have you here. 5
Sure.
years working with Cyberbacker, what's been the biggest impact of virtual leverage through Cyberbacker in the business so far?
Biggest impact. Well, it's allowed us to scale and grow. When we started with Cyberbacker, we were still a high producing organization. But as that's happened, we've achieved new levels of success and become an MREA team, through Keller Williams, which means producing over $1 million in commissions, which, that means sometimes 100 to 120 deals go through her hand, and she's handled that workload like a boss. And so the impact has been, for me, is the ability to take my eyes off of some of those details that we've gotten down that Lavelle really has her handled on, so that I can work on the next thing to help us grow more and create more opportunity.
Already a lot of growth, a lot of success in the past 5 years working together. Now, I forgot to tell you, Lavelle's going to be able to listen, of course, and watch this once we have this online. So before we go, would you want to give her a quick shout out or any messages you'd like to give out to her?
I would just like to say thank you for your commitment to us. We really love working with you, and we appreciate how much effort you have put in here. And if you need something, by all means, just remember we're partners in this together. And thank you for your patience and understanding at some of the people like me who are very high-paced and impatient people who are just trying to conquer the world. You've been a great partner, and we hope that you continue with us for the long run.
Here we go. We're very excited to seeing the continued success of this great partnership. And of course, Jason, thank you very much for being on the show today. I had fun talking to you today.
Yeah, you too. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.